Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Always a pleasure.
Today, we're really diving deep into the life and legacy of
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. You know, everybody knows him as a basketball icon.
Right, of course.
5 NBA championships, 81 points in a game.
All those accolades, yeah.
All that. But we're going a little deeper here. We're going to uncover some of the lesser-known struggles and triumphs that really shaped him into the man he was, both on and off the court.
Definitely. Looking forward to that.
So we're going to be drawing a lot from this biography here. He actually spent a lot of his childhood in
Italy.
Can
you imagine?
So what was that like for him?
Well, his father, Joe, Jelly Bean Bryant.
Jelly Bean. I love that nickname.
A legend in his own right. But he was playing pro basketball in Italy at the time. So, young Kobe is soaking up Italian culture, speaking Italian, and then, boom, uprooted and brought back to the U.S. as a teenager.
Whoa, what a culture shock that must have been.
Yeah, talk about a difficult transition, trying to find his place in a whole new world, basically.
And I read in the book that, coming back here to the States, he faced some pretty blatant racism.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true, especially when he was playing soccer.
Really?
Yep. It really makes you think about how those experiences, feeling like an outsider, facing prejudice, it can really leave a mark, And in Kobe's case, it seems like it kind of fueled this fire in him, like he had something to prove. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got this young Kobe back in the U.S., driven, ambitious.
Driven to succeed.
And then, high school hits. And he's already being compared to Michael Jordan, the next Michael Jordan.
Can you imagine that kind of weight on your shoulder?
At that age?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I was barely figuring out, how to drive at 17.
Yeah, I feel that.
And he makes this just wild decision.
Oh, absolutely bold.
To skip college.
Crazy, right?
And go straight into the NBA draft at 17.
Talk about a leap of faith.
Yeah. What do you think was going through his mind? Like that kind of self-belief?
I think it's incredible. He had this unwavering self-belief, this confidence.
But you got to think, though, he lands on this team full of, seasoned veterans.
Right. Guys who've been around the block.
Not necessarily thrilled about this young...
hotshot.
Yeah, hotshot coming in, trying to steal the show.
Trying to make his mark.
So naturally, there were some clashes early on.
Right.
With teammates, coaches.
Yeah, there were some growing pains for sure.
I mean, you can imagine those guys weren't just handing him the keys to the kingdom.
No, he had to earn his stripes. And there's this great anecdote from his rookie year that really highlights this.
Okay, let's hear it.
So he's so eager to prove himself, right, that he's ignoring the play calls and just launching into these crazy shots.
Oh, no. The rookie mistake.
Classic rookie mistake. And one of his teammates, I can't remember who it was, finally had enough and was like, "Rookie, you're not playing 1-on-5 out there."
Oh, that's amazing. But I mean, I get it. Like that drive, that hunger to prove himself. I mean, it was always there.
Always. But even with all that talent, ambition, he wasn't immune to setbacks. Like you think about the 1997 playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Those were rough. Especially, some of those missed shots and those clutch moments.
It really stung. But what's remarkable is how he responded to those failures. It just fueled this legendary work ethic.
So you're saying, those early losses were actually crucial to his development?
Absolutely. It wasn't just about talent. It was about turning those setbacks into fuel.
Wow.
He'd spend hours in the gym, honing his skills, obsessing over every detail.
Just relentless.
Totally. And, it's a powerful lesson for all of us. It really makes you think, how do you deal with failure? Do you let it define you?
Ooh.
Or do you use it to become better?
That's a good point.
It's like failure became a stepping stone for him.
Wow. Okay, so we've got this picture of young Kobe, right, bursting onto the scene.
Yeah.
So much talent, ambition.
Learning some tough lessons.
But then things take a pretty dark turn in 2003. With the allegations of sexual assault.
Right. This was a pivotal moment. And it's important to address it, head on, but also with sensitivity.
Yeah.
The charges were eventually dropped, but the impact on his reputation, his mental health, it was profound. And it had to be incredibly difficult for him to deal with, on a personal level and professionally, of course.
Absolutely. I'm curious, did the biography mention any specific ways that he kind of addressed that impact on his mental health?
One thing that really stood out to me was how he started seeking out guidance from others.
Oh,
He was attending therapy sessions, having deep conversations with, spiritual advisors. It seemed like he was really trying to understand himself on a deeper level.
not just as a basketball player, but as a person.
Exactly. And I think this is where we start to see a real shift in Kobe. Like, this incident really forced him to confront his flaws
Yeah.
and work towards becoming a better version of himself.
So it's like this incredibly difficult period maybe even became
Catalyst.
a catalyst, for personal growth.
Absolutely. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
It's like he went through this, this fire, and what emerged was
Kobe 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. Kobe 2.0. And from this period of introspection, you see the evolution of the Mamba mentality. Right. It's not just about that laser focus anymore, It's not just about individual achievement. It becomes about resilience.
Yeah.
It's about using setbacks as fuel and understanding the importance of empathy and collaboration.
I love that. But it's easy to throw around, terms like Mamba mentality. But what is that like? What does that actually mean?
Right.
For everyday people like you and me?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
It's about confronting your challenges head on, not shying away. It's about unwavering commitment to self-improvement, pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. But it's also, crucially, about recognizing that true success, it involves lifting others up, not just focusing on yourself.
So it's about more than just like working hard.
Yeah, much more.
Yeah.
It's about mindset. The book talks about Kobe using visualization techniques.
Interesting.
Breaking down skills into, like micro movements, studying opponents obsessively. I mean, this wasn't just practice, this was mastery. Right. And that's something we can all apply to our own lives.
Right.
Whether we're talking about learning a new skill or, tackling a problem at work, that level of intentionality can make all the difference.
That's really helpful. It makes it seem a lot less like superhuman.
Right.
And more like, just a practical approach to self-improvement.
Exactly. And you see the shift in his playing style too, right? He goes from being this, perceived selfish player to someone who really embraces collaboration, understands that championships are won as a team.
Yeah, but there's also the argument that his passing more was just like Phil Jackson's system.
Right.
Like, was he actually a different player? Or just playing a different role?
That's a great point. There's definitely room for debate there.
Yeah.
But I think, when you look at the evidence, it points to a genuine shift in his approach. The book mentions him actively seeking out ways to empower his teammates, studying their strengths and weaknesses, becoming more vocal in his leadership.
So he realized that understanding his teammates was just as important as honing his own skills.
Absolutely. He had to learn to trust them, empower them, become a true leader on and off the court. And I think that's what's so inspiring about this part of his journey. He takes this, incredibly difficult period and uses it as a catalyst for personal transformation.
Wow.
It's not just bouncing back, it's evolving.
Okay. All right. So Kobe 2.0.
Kobe 2.0.
I'm convinced. But that evolution goes beyond basketball too, right? I mean, we see it in his post-retirement success as a storyteller, entrepreneur, dedicated father. It's like he channeled that same Mamba mentality into, everything he did.
Precisely. And this is where things get really fascinating because we all know about the championships. We all know about the scoring records, right?
Right.
But then there's the Oscar-winning short film.
Yeah.
The Granite Studios venture. I mean, how do you go from NBA star to Oscar winner?
I was surprised to learn about that too.
Right. It shows that drive to excel. It wasn't limited to basketball. He was pushing boundaries, exploring new frontiers, and, leaving his mark on the world in a whole new way.
And, what's really remarkable is how he used his platform to champion, causes that he believed in.
Oh, for sure.
His dedication to coaching his daughters.
Especially Gianna.
Yeah.
His advocacy for women's basketball.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful testament to his growth as a person.
Right.
He wasn't just content with personal success.
Right.
He wanted to use his influence to make a difference. And that's what we see, him pushing for equality in sports, empowering young girls to pursue their dreams.
It really makes you think about what it means to leave a lasting impact. He wasn't perfect. He made mistakes.
We all do.
But he never stopped striving to be better, to learn, to grow. And in doing so, he really left this indelible mark on the world, not just as a basketball icon, but as a human being who embraced the complexities of life.
That's beautifully said. I think that's where his story resonates with so many people, you know. It reminds us that even the most celebrated figures, they're human.
Yeah.
With flaws, with complexities. And it teaches us that, you know, setbacks and failures aren't the end. They can be opportunities for growth and for transformation. And maybe most importantly, you know, it shows us that a true legacy, it's not just built on achievement, but on impact, on how we inspire and empower others.
That really hits home. It's like, you know, Kobe's journey with all its ups and downs. It gives us this roadmap, not just for success, but for living a life of purpose.
It's true. I mean, his story, it's about ambition, resilience, you know, relentlessly pursuing excellence, and the power of human connection.
Yeah.
Pretty universal stuff, right?
Absolutely. And you see it playing out, you know, everywhere. Athletes call him their inspiration, kids picking up a basketball for the first time, and even artists, entrepreneurs embodying that Mamba mentality in their own pursuits. It's like his influence just keeps expanding.
It really does.
Even though he's not physically here.
And that's the most enduring part of his legacy, you know? It's not the trophies or the records. It's the impact he had on people.
Yeah.
The way he inspired us to push our own limits, strive for greatness in all aspects of life, you know? Not just on the court, but in our relationships, our communities, our personal growth.
Wow. Okay, that's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It's like he's left us with these, you know, with these big questions. What are we truly passionate about? What obstacles are in our way?
Yeah.
How can we turn them into opportunities? How can we use our talents, our experiences to make a positive impact on the world?
Exactly.
Wow.
It challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
To embrace discomfort as fuel for growth. And to never stop striving to be our best selves.
This has been pretty incredible.
It has.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope you learned something new. Maybe even found a little bit of inspiration for your own journey.
Absolutely. Remember, you know, the pursuit of greatness is a lifelong process, full of challenges and triumphs, setbacks and breakthroughs. Embrace the whole ride. Learn from everything. And never stop striving to become the best version of yourself. That's the Mamba mentality in action.
It's a lot to take in, you know, even though, you know, his life was tragically cut short. His legacy just continues to inspire so many millions of people.
For sure.
But how do we do something with that? You know, what do we do with that inspiration? How do we apply it to our own lives?
Well, I think it reminds us that even the most, you know, celebrated figures,
Yeah.
they're human. They have flaws. They have complexities.
Right.
And it teaches us that setbacks and failures, they're not the end, you know?
Yeah.
They're opportunities for growth, for transformation. And maybe most importantly, it shows us that a true legacy, it's not just built on achievements.
Right.
It's about impact.
Yeah.
It's about how we inspire, how we empower others.
Man, that really hits home. It's like Kobe's journey with all the ups, the downs, you know, it gives us like this roadmap, not just for success, but for living a life of purpose.
I think so. It's true. I mean, his story, it's about ambition, resilience. It's about relentlessly pursuing excellence. And the power of, you know, human connection is pretty universal stuff.
It is. And you see it playing out everywhere, right? I mean, you see athletes who call him their inspiration, kids picking up a basketball for the first time, even artists, entrepreneurs, you know, embodying that Mamba mentality in their own pursuits. So it's like his influence it keeps expanding.
It does. It ripples outward.
Yeah. Even though he's not physically here.
And that's the most enduring part of his legacy, you know? It's not the trophies. It's not the records.
Right.
It's the impact he had on people. The way he inspired us to push our own limits, you know? Strive for greatness in all aspects of life. Not just on the court, but in our relationships, our communities, our personal growth.
Wow. Okay, that's a powerful way to think about it. It's like he's left us with these big questions, you know?
Yeah.
What are we truly passionate about? What are the obstacles that are in our way?
For sure.
How can we turn those into opportunities?
Right.
How can we use our talents, our experiences to make a positive impact on the world?
Those are the questions.
Man, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
Thank you for joining us as we explored the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant.
My pleasure.
Hopefully you learned something new today, maybe even found a little bit of inspiration for your own journey. And that's it for this deep dive. Catch you next time.